Hello everyone, my name is Logan McGowan and I am here today to persuade everyone that is viewing this video to always wear their seatbelt, because there can be a lot of negative effects from it if you do not. Wearing a seatbelt is always a must when driving a vehicle. The chances of surviving any car crash goes down by 50% if you aren't wearing your seatbelt when you get in the accident. Don't wait until after the car crash to put your seatbelt on, because then it will be too late and you will have already risked death or risk getting or having a serious injury to yourself. How many people do you know that have gotten in a car crash? I'm sure you know at least someone in your life that has gotten in a car wreck. If they didn't live or get into a serious injury, then they probably weren't wearing their seatbelt. Don't make the same mistake they did, or take the risk of losing a friend or family member, or even your own life. That's why you always need to wear your seatbelt. Wearing a seatbelt is the most effective and easiest way to prevent death or serious bodily injury to yourself or others in a car wreck. I'm here to try and persuade everyone to always wear their seatbelt. It's a simple decision to wear your seatbelt. It's not hard. It takes 5 seconds to click your seatbelt, and that can affect you in many ways. The chances of getting at least one car crash in your life are very likely. The statistical chance of getting in a car crash is 80%. A lot of people think that they are going somewhere quickly or driving a short distance that putting your seatbelt on may not be needed, but their chances of getting in a car crash is very likely if they are not careful. The problem is that people don't wear their seatbelts, or they are just too lazy to even put it on, and they just dismiss it and don't think about it until it is too late or after the fact, when they have gotten in a wreck and caused harm to themselves. Most accidents occur within 3 miles of where you left from. Driving short distances is where most accidents do occur. This happens because most people are usually distracted right when they get in their vehicles. They're either in a hurry, they're running late, or they're not paying attention. They're either on their phones or changing their music, getting their music hooked up, always just not paying attention. That's why it's always good to wear it. Motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death among teens in the United States of people between the ages 18 to 24 years old. According to the CDC motor vehicle website, statistical facts from the ages 14 to 20 years old, about 55% of the kids that died were not wearing their seatbelts. If everyone used a seatbelt every day around the United States, there would be as much as 13,000 lives saved each year. With just a simple click of your seatbelt, the life that you have may be saved. This is a nationwide problem. Everywhere, people never wear their seatbelts. Seatbelt use in 2010 was 89% in states with primary enforcement laws, but only 80% in states with secondary enforcement laws or no seatbelt laws. The chances of getting in at least one car crash in your life is very likely. The statistical chance of getting in a car crash in your life is 80%. Research shows primary enforcement seatbelt laws make a difference in getting more people to buckle up. A primary enforcement seatbelt law means a police officer can pull you over and give you a ticket just because you or your passenger is not wearing their seatbelt. A secondary enforcement law allows a police officer to issue a ticket for someone not wearing a seatbelt if the driver has been pulled over for another reason. So the primary law allows them to pull you over for not having it on, but the secondary law only allows them to give you a ticket if been pulled over for speeding or something else and they notice you don't have it on, then they can give you a ticket. Everyone is affected by not wearing the seatbelt. If you get in a car wreck and you or one of your passengers isn't wearing their seatbelt, then you can either die or be very seriously injured. And if the person that you got in an accident with isn't wearing their seatbelt, then they also have a better chance of getting seriously injured or dying as well. People lose their lives every single day in car crashes because they're not wearing their seatbelts. If everybody used their seatbelt every day, many lives would be saved. It needs to start with your parents setting a good example for their kids and being good role models when it comes to driver safety. If you grow up riding around in a vehicle with your parents and they never put their seatbelt on, then when your child turns 16, they're probably not going to wear their seatbelt either, because they'll just think it's not that big of a deal. I do it as well. It's not a good thing to do, but I'll admit I do it too, because my parents never really wore their seatbelts, and I just don't think about it when I get in the vehicle. If the parents wear their seatbelts, then their kids will more than likely wear theirs when they start driving as well. There's some things that could be done to help stress the fact of wearing your seatbelt. You could make it longer for younger kids to get a license. Make sure people know that what wearing a seatbelt means, and make sure they know the consequences if you don't wear your seatbelt. Consequences need to be higher, and the crackdown on cops making it a priority to wear a seatbelt needs to be shown more in our world today. It should be a priority law in all states in the United States. It is the law to wear a seatbelt, and nothing will save you more in a car accident than wearing your seatbelt. Many people believe that an airbag or the steering wheel is enough to save you, but it is not. In fact, the steering wheel can cause extremely internal bleeding and can cause heart problems and can cause your lungs to explode and organs to bleed if hitting the steering wheel hard enough in a car accident. That's why when you get in a wreck and if you have your seatbelt on, it tightens up right when you hit somebody or they hit you. That's why it's always good to have it on. You're not going anywhere. You won't get flung out the vehicle if you have it on. So not wearing it, you have a lot of risk and consequences. The airbag is known to kill people as well, because it comes out at speeds sometimes as much as 200 miles per hour. Airbags and the steering wheel aren't enough to stop you from being injured or ejected from the car. Only the seatbelt. The appeal to wearing a seatbelt is that some people get scared that if they get in an accident that they could be trapped in the car or might not make it out of the accident if they have it on. But you have a better chance of living or preventing injury if you have it on than you do of getting trapped in the vehicle in an accident. This mostly happens either during the car catching on fire or the car being fully submerged under a body of water when people can't get out. When the car is underwater or the car has caught on fire, the seatbelt might be melted or cannot unlock due to the water pressure. So they could end up being stuck in the car or dying. My friend, he got in a car crash and hit a tree, and he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. He lived, but the doctors and police said that if he was wearing one, if he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, then he would have more than likely been killed. There are some very rare situations when this happens. There are situations, and almost never or very rarely happen. The fact is that less than 2% of all car crashes involve a car starting on fire or a car being fully submerged in a body of water. There is more chance of living in a car crash without your seatbelt on, of not living in a car crash without your seatbelt on, than a scenario like this even occurring. That's why it's good to always just go on and click and put it on. According to the Everyday Health article, seatbelts save lives every day because of these 5 things. It keeps the occupant in the vehicle inside. It restrains the strongest parts of the body, spreads out any force from the collision, helps the body slow down, and it protects your spinal cord and brain. As you can see, wearing a seatbelt is very simple, and it is something that you have to do every day in your life. And it can lead to a big impact on your life and your family and friends' life and the people you love if you just put it on. Buckle up and don't take the chance of getting in a car wreck without it on. Nothing is more safer and efficient than wearing your seatbelt in a vehicle. It is the law to wear your seatbelt and will increase your chances of living or getting injured in a car crash by 50%. Don't be one of the 10 to 13,000 people that die in a car crash this year, and don't let your family or friends be one of them. Take action before it is too late and buckle up. Wear your seatbelt. Buckling up the next time you get the motor vehicle could save your life or your friends or family's life.